All right, so get this. We're going to dive into some stuff today that'll really make you think. Like, what if the internet could actually track your karma? And I don't mean like in some mystical way. I'm talking about real world consequences based on your actions online.
It's a fascinating idea, isn't it? Blending ancient concepts like karma with modern tech like blockchain and AI.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to break down how this could change everything, how we create content, how search engines work, everything.
It's about creating a digital world that encourages us to grow and do good, not just, be mindless consumers.
Okay, so before we get too far ahead, let's start with the basics. Dr. David Hawkins, he came up with this thing called the map of consciousness. Have you heard of this?
Absolutely. It's pretty mind-blowing. He's basically saying everything has an energy level, right? He called it a level of consciousness, or LOC, and he put it on a scale, like 1 to 1,000. So you can measure the LOC of anything, emotions, beliefs, even whole societies.
So like happiness would be higher on the scale than, say, anger.
Exactly. Joy, courage, those are high vibe emotions. They show a more expansive state of being. Fear, anger, those fall lower on the spectrum.
So it's not just about good vibes versus bad vibes. It's about the actual energy behind those feelings.
Oh, right. Higher consciousness means more awareness, compassion, that kind of stuff.
Okay, so how do you actually figure out where something falls on this map? Like, how do I know my own level of consciousness or the LOC of, I don't know, a movie I watched?
Well, Hawkins used muscle testing for this. It's also called applied kinesiology. The idea is your body reacts differently to truth and falsehood. So there's this arm test. Someone presses down on your arm while you think about a statement. If your arm stays strong, it's true. If it goes weak, it's false.
Hold on, wait. You're saying our muscles can tell us about the energy of things? That's wild.
It is pretty out there. But the source material stresses that the person doing the testing has to have a high LOC themselves, like above 200 on the scale, which is the level of courage. Otherwise, their own energy could skew the results.
So you need someone who's already pretty grounded to do the test. Otherwise, it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy or something.
Right, exactly. And here's the crazy part. There's a whole website, consciousnesscalibrations.com, where people are doing this, measuring the LOC of all kinds of things and sharing it.
Wow, so you can go online and see how different books, movies, all sorts of stuff, how they measure up on this scale.
Yep, it's like a crowdsourced database of consciousness. Pretty amazing, right? But that's just the beginning. Now let's throw in this karma.ai idea, a system that uses AI and blockchain to track actions and reward people for doing good based on their LOC.
Okay, now we're getting into some futuristic stuff. So how would this karma.ai thing actually work?
Think of it like an app. It tracks your actions and gives you a karma score based on how well you're embodying certain virtues.
Wait, are we talking about specific virtues, like being honest, compassionate, that kind of thing? Because I came across something called the 52 Virtues Project while I was researching this.
Bingo, that's the one. It's a whole global movement pushing these 52 virtues as the building blocks of character. And it's perfect for this karma.ai thing. Imagine the app sees you do something kind. It knows that aligns with compassion, generosity. Bam, you get karma points.
So the more good stuff I do, the higher my score goes, right?
Exactly. But it's not just some number on a screen. We're talking about actual cryptocurrency here, maybe even called karma.ai. You could use it for real world stuff.
Wait, so I could earn actual money just by being a good person? That's insane.
Right. Think about the possibilities. You could donate to charities, support ethical companies, maybe even unlock exclusive content online. It makes doing good actually rewarding.
Okay, my mind is officially blown. So we've got this system tracking actions, calculating karma based on these virtues, and giving out cryptocurrency. But how does it connect back to Dr. Hawkins' map of consciousness?
That's where things get really interesting. The app wouldn't just show your karma score, it would also give you insights into your current LOC based on your actions.
So if I'm constantly doing good, my karma goes up, and the app might say, hey, looks like your level of consciousness is around 400, which is the level of reason, according to Hawkins.
Exactly. And as you keep making good choices, you could actually see your LOC go up over time. It's like a feedback loop, rewarding you and guiding you towards greater awareness and growth all at the same time.
Man, this is next level stuff. We're talking about using tech to not just track our behavior, but to actually help us evolve as people.
And that's just the personal level. Imagine how this could transform how we interact online, how businesses operate, even how search engines work.
Okay, now I'm really hooked. Tell me more.
Like explore how all of this, the karma, the consciousness, the technology, how it could revolutionize the internet as we know it, starting with how we create content itself. So imagine this. You're creating content online, right? But you're not just thinking about keywords and algorithms, you're thinking about the actual consciousness of the people who are going to see it.
Whoa, so we're talking about making websites, articles, videos, whatever, that are actually aligned with specific levels of consciousness. Like instead of just trying to get clicks, we're actually trying to help people grow.
Yeah, that's the idea. Shifting from manipulation to like genuine connection and service. Think about it. If you know your audience is at, say, a 300 level of consciousness, which Hawkins says is acceptance, you'd focus on things like self-improvement, finding inner peace.
And if I'm trying to reach people at, let's say, 500, the level of love, the whole vibe of my content would have to reflect that higher energy, right?
Exactly. It's not about throwing around keywords anymore. It's about actually crafting your message to meet people where they are on their journey.
Man, this changes everything for content creators.
Yeah.
It's not just about SEO anymore. It's about, like, consciously aligning your work with a certain energy.
And that's where it gets really interesting, because that could change SEO itself. I mean, imagine optimizing for consciousness instead of just keywords.
So instead of just trying to get backlinks from any website, I'd be looking for sites that have a similar LOC to mine.
Yeah. What if Google started considering not just how relevant and authoritative a website is, but also its actual level of consciousness?
Whoa. So when I search for something like healthy recipes, Google could look at my LOC and give me results from websites that match that energy.
Exactly. Instead of being bombarded with all this random stuff, you'd see content that's actually tailored to where you are in your personal growth.
But hold on. What if I'm looking for info on something that's kind of, controversial or triggering? Would a search engine just filter out anything that challenges me?
That's where the whole karma.ai and earning karma.ai thing comes in. What if, instead of hiding stuff, it gave you a chance to earn karma by engaging with different perspectives?
So let's say I'm looking up something that's really divisive. Google might show me results that align with my LOC, but also some links that present a different viewpoint, maybe one that's considered lower on the consciousness scale.
And those links would be labeled as like karma opportunities. If I choose to click on them, even though they might be challenging, I could earn some karma.a.
So it's like turning those potentially negative moments into a chance to grow and get rewarded for it.
Yeah, exactly. And think about it. By engaging with different viewpoints, you're not just expanding your own awareness, you're helping to create a more balanced online world.
Man, search engines could become so much more than just tools for finding information. They could actually help us evolve as individuals and as a society.
Right. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. Think about how this could impact businesses. I mean, what if companies were rated not just on their products and services, but on their level of consciousness and how ethical they are?
Okay, now we're talking real world impact. So I could be shopping online or looking for a restaurant, and I'd see their consciousness score right next to their star rating.
Exactly. And if I'm using the karma.ai app, I could choose to support businesses that match my values.
That would be huge. It would encourage companies to operate ethically because they know their karma score could affect their business.
It's about creating a more transparent and accountable marketplace.
Right.
Imagine you're browsing online and you see these little karma.ai symbols next to businesses that are actually making a positive impact.
It would create a whole new level of trust, for sure.
And even advertising could change. Instead of being bombarded with ads for stuff I don't care about, I might start seeing things that actually align with my LOC and my values.
So if I'm living a mindful lifestyle, I'm more likely to see ads for, like, organic food or sustainable clothing. And I wouldn't feel so bombarded because I know those ads are tailored to me.
Right. It's about moving from manipulation to genuine connection, even in advertising.
Okay, I'm totally on board with all of this, but there's a part of me that's a little, wary. Like, we're talking about measuring something as subjective as consciousness and deciding what's good or bad. Who gets to make those calls?
Yeah, that's a valid concern. We have to be really careful about how this tech is developed, make sure it's fair, transparent, and that people have control over their own data.
We don't want to create a system where people with high karma get special privileges, right?
Absolutely not. The goal is to empower everyone, no matter where they are on the scale, to make better choices and contribute to a better world.
It seems like there are a lot of ethical questions we need to consider as we move forward with all of this.
Yeah, definitely. We need to have open and honest conversations about the potential benefits and risks and make sure this technology is used in a way that aligns with our values as a society.
I mean, it really feels like we're just scratching the surface here. There's so much potential when you start combining consciousness and karma with technology. But it also raises some big questions about where the internet's going and what our role in all of this is.
Yeah, it
Right?
definitely makes you think, doesn't it? We're not just
Yeah.
passively absorbing information anymore. We're actively shaping the online world.
And that means we have to be responsible. Think about the impact of our actions, not just online, but offline too.
Absolutely. It's not just about getting karma points or leveling up our consciousness. It's about making choices that contribute to a better world.
Yeah, it's like every click, every like, every comment, every purchase, it all adds up, right? We're either creating more harmony online or more chaos.
It's a powerful way to look at it. And as we go deeper into these ideas like karma.ai and integrating consciousness into Google and all that, we really need to talk about the ethical side of things.
Yeah, we've touched on a few things already, like that whole digital caste system thing and who decides what's good or bad online. What else should we be thinking about?
Well, data privacy is a big one. If we're going to have a system tracking our actions and giving us karma scores, we need to know that data is being handled responsibly.
So transparency is key, right?
Yeah.
Users need to know what data is being collected, how it's being used, and be able to opt out if they want to.
Definitely. And we have to watch out for biases in the system itself. Algorithms can accidentally make existing inequalities worse or even create new ones.
It's like if the data going in is biased, the results are going to be biased too.
Exactly. So we got to be super careful about what data we use to train these algorithms and constantly check for any unintended consequences.
It sounds like we need a whole new set of rules for this karma-driven internet. Rules that focus on fairness, transparency, and individual freedom.
Yeah, we're in uncharted territory here, and we need to be both cautious and responsible. The potential is huge, but we have to be thoughtful about how we move forward.
This has been such an eye-opening conversation, I have to say. So many mind-blowing ideas and so many important questions to think about. What's the one thing you really want people to take away from this deep dive?
I think the biggest takeaway is that the internet is a reflection of us. It shows us both the amazing and the terrible things humans are capable of.
But it's also a place where we can choose to create something better.
Exactly. It's not about ignoring the bad stuff. It's about using technology to grow, understand each other better, and ultimately create a more connected and harmonious world.
This has been amazing. Thank you so much for walking us through all of this.
My pleasure. Keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep working towards a more conscious and compassionate online world.
And to our listeners, thank you for joining us on this deep dive. We'll catch you next time.